Hello everyone, this is a video regarding our final year project presentation, traffic sign image classification using deep learning. We are from BTech CSE Department of Ramaya University, Bengaluru. Our mentor is Ms. Santoshi Kumari. Our team leader is Akshay Pai. We are a group of 3 members, Akshay Pai as our team leader, Aniruddha PK and myself Charan Gaudar. This is an outline of our project. Our project title Traffic Sign Image Classification using Deep Learning. Our aim is to design and develop deep learning models for traffic sign image classification. These are our objectives for the project. To conduct a literature survey on deep learning techniques used for image classification of traffic signs, to arrive at requirement specification for deep learning model and web application, to design and develop deep learning models to classify traffic sign images, to implement and compare the performance of deep learning techniques, to test and validate the developed deep learning model using web application, to document the report by unifying all the results and outcomes. Methods and methodology. To conduct literature survey on deep learning techniques used for image classification of traffic signs, deep learning models for traffic sign image classification, different Python libraries for required tasks. This objective is usually carried out by researching by actually looking at online journals and conference papers. To arrive at requirement specification for deep learning model and web application. Configuration of Python and Jupyter Notebook on Google Colab, acquiring datasets and specifying pre-processing procedures that need to be done on the collected dataset. To design and implement suitable pre-processing approaches and storage of data, splitting the dataset into training set, validation test, and test set using train test split, building deep learning models and training them using the training dataset, evaluating the accuracies of the trained model using the test data, visualization of the results. To implement and compare learning technique with existing techniques. Classification using LINET and VGGNet models. To test and validate the developed deep learning model. Under this objective, we have following: testing the developed models using test data, validating them based on various evaluation metrics, comparing performance of the models, web application development and deployment. And in our last objective, we would like to form a report on the results and outcomes, validate formal representation of results and outcomes. This is a workflow diagram or a flow chart. Learn the deep learning approaches, decide programming languages and libraries, configure developmental tool, acquire dataset, pre-processing images, split dataset into training, validation and test set, building deep learning models, train and evaluate the validation accuracy, compare and visualize the results. Basically, this whole project can be broken down into 5 steps: data collection, data pre-processing, training and validation, testing, and finally the deployment. Data collection and pre-processing includes a benchmark dataset called German Traffic Sign Recognition Benchmark. This dataset was downloaded from Kaggle, and this dataset contains around 50,000 images belonging to 43 classes. And before we do training and testing, the dataset is split into training and test set. This data set is split in the ratio of 70:30, that is training set containing 70% of the images and 30% into test set. The three graphs here depicts the number of training samples in each dataset belonging to 43 classes. The x-axis here indicates the classes and y-axis here gives the number of the samples containing in each dataset. Moving on to Linet model, this is our first approach in problem solving for the CNN. Linet architecture was introduced by Jan LeCun in 1998 paper for identifying handwritten digits. This pioneering model, Linet model, largely introduced CNN that is actually famous today. The Linet model or Linet 5 model has the following layers: our input image, that is 32 cross 32 with 3 channels. It should be 3. I think there's a typo here, and it's not a grayscale image, it is RGB image. So 32 cross 32, add 3, and in the first layer we have a convolution and ReLU. The input for Linet 5, that is 32 cross 32 RGB image, that passes through the first convolution layer with 6 feature maps. 6 feature maps or filters, both are the same. Each filter having size of 5 cross 5 and a stride of 1. Therefore, the image dimensions changes from 32 cross 32 cross 3 to 28 cross 28 cross 6. In the second layer, we have a pooling layer or a subsampling layer. This is a max pooling layer with a filter size of 2 cross 2 and a stride of 2. When a stride of 2 is used, the image size actually is reduced by half. That is 28 cross 28 here is reduced to 14 cross 14, which is half of 28. But the number of filters or feature maps remains the same in pooling layer after the pooling layer is applied. So in the third layer, we have 16 feature maps here having filter size as 5 cross 5 and a stride of 1 is used here. Therefore, the image dimensions here changes from 14 cross 14 cross 6 to 10 cross 10 cross 16. In the fourth layer, again we have a max pooling layer, or we can call it a subsampling layer. Since it is a pooling layer, the image dimensions changes but the number of filters or feature maps remains the same. The image was 10 cross 10 cross 16 before the pooling layer, and after the max pooling layer, the image is reduced from 10 cross 10 to 5 cross 5 with 16 feature maps. In the fifth layer, we have a fully connected dense layer. Before that, we actually have to flatten our matrix, that is 3D to 2D, because since it is a 3D matrix and we have to unroll it to 1D, we multiply 16 into 5 into 5 to get 1 into 400. So we have a vector here. This vector is given to fully connected layer with a dropout. This fully connected dense layer has 120 feature maps of size 1 cross 1, and these 120 feature maps are connected to 400 nodes here. And again we have a next fully connected layer of 84 units. The 120 units from the previous layer are connected to all the 84 nodes or units in the fully connected layer here. Final fully connected layer, that is our output layer. This uses actually a softmax function which gives the probability distribution among 43 classes. So we have 43 because the number of classes are 43 for our classification. These 43 nodes in output layer are connected to 84 nodes in the previous layer, and softmax activation is applied. This is a statistics of the number of how much the parameters are present in each layer and the total number of parameters that the model possesses. The first layer, the convolution layer, this layer, we have 456 parameters. And how is this 456 parameters obtained? We have a 5 cross 5 filter. Now 3 channels, that is RGB, and a 6 filters. So filter size multiplied by number of channels multiplied by number of feature maps in the current layer, that is 5 cross 5 into 3 into 6, and additional 6 bias is added to that, so it will totally result in 456 parameters. Similarly, for all the layers we have calculated the number of parameters, and for fully connected layers, say these two layers, the number of parameters are 128 into 84, as simple as that. So if we add all the parameters in all the layers, the total parameters would result in 64,000. Moving on to our next approach, that is VGGNet model. VGGNet model is invented by Karen Simeon and Andrew Zizerman. They actually belong to VGG group, that is Visual Geometry Group, hence the name VGG. VGG came to VGGNet model because of this group, because it is called VGG and they are from Oxford University. VGGNet found its recognition when it actually secured a runner-up place in ILSVRC competition. This competition, that is ILSVRC, this stands for ImageNet Large Scale Visual Recognition Competition. And this VGGNet actually it 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 got runner-up place in 2014 classification task, while the winner was GoogleNet. This VGGNet has actually shown tremendous improvements compared to previous models like AlexNet or ZFNet. This VGGNet in 2014 got runner-up place with an accuracy of 92.7%, beating ZFNet and AlexNet from previous year models, while GoogleNet secured first place. VGG architecture is evolving through years. First it was VGG 11, VGG 13, VGG 16, VGG 19. But among this, VGG 16 has been famous and is well known among its family. And this is our VGGNet model. We have a size of 32 cross 32 cross 3 again. We have a first convolution and ReLU layer here, but with the same padding. Same padding actually means that we are not reducing the image size, and padding is actually done because we are more focusing on the edges, because our model want to actually detect the edges, fine edges of the image. And in the first layer we have 32 cross 32 cross 3 image passed to our convolution layer. Because of the same padding we have 32 cross 32 and 32 feature maps. And in the second layer we have same layer which is a replica of the first layer, so we get the same output 32 cross 32 and 32 feature maps. Third layer is actually a max pooling layer. Therefore in pooling layer, like I earlier said, only image size is going to change while the feature map remains the same. This pooling layer has a filter size of 2 cross 2 with a stride of 2. Therefore the output would be half of the size of the image in the previous layer. Therefore 32 is reduced by 16 here. So 16 cross 16, 32 feature maps. So in the fourth layer, fourth and fifth layer is actually same, because fourth layer has a convolution layer with the same padding. Therefore our image size from pooling layer is not reduced, but we have 64 feature maps here. Therefore the output would be 16 cross 16 and 64 feature maps. The same layer is again put, and next we have a max pooling layer with the same stride and same size, that is 2 cross 2 and 2. Therefore our image is reduced by half, 8 cross 8, and we have 64 feature maps. Next we have two convolution layer with same padding. but with 128 feature maps. Therefore, our image output is 8 cross 8 times 128. Next, we have a max pooling layer with the same stride and filter size of 2 cross 2 and stride of 2. Therefore, our image is reduced from 8 cross 8 to 4 cross 4 with 128 filters. Next, we have 3 fully connected layers. The first fully connected layer, we actually unroll this 4 cross 4 into 128 to 1D, that is flatten it to get 2048, a series or a vector of 2048 units values. And this fully connected layer here, let me go back. Yeah, this 2048 units that we have flattened is connected to 128 units of the fully connected layer here, and this 120, the same replica of this layer is put to next. And in the last layer, since we have 43 classes, it will have 43 units in the last fully connected layer with the softmax activation function. And we have the output, that is the classified image, which traffic sign is actually revived in output. And this is a stats showing number of parameters for VGGNet model. The same formula is being applied here, that is number of channels, filter size multiplied by number of feature maps and the bias terms. But we looking at the total number of parameters in VGGNet model, it is 5,71,000, but compared to Linet has actually 64,000. VGGNet model is very bigger and it takes a lot of time to actually set so much parameters because it is 5,71,000. So VGGNet model training took lot of time than Linet model. Implementation, training and testing. The train test split ratio is 70:30, like I already mentioned it earlier. The number of training examples are 31,367. Number of validation examples 7,842. Number of test examples 12,630. The input shape, that is 32 cross 32 with 3 channels, that is RGB. Number of classes are 43. Each model has been trained for 15 epochs, and this is a model accuracy. The training accuracy of 87.33% for Linet and VGG 96.06. Validation accuracy of 95.33% for Linet, whereas for VGG it is 98.51. Test accuracy is 87.94% for Linet and 95.68 for VGGNet. By looking at these values for Linet and VGG, we can say that VGGNet outperformed Linet, and this is hyperparameter tuning, learning rate, tuning the learning rate. To determine the optimal learning rate, model was trained with different learning rate values with respective loss curves were plotted and optimal of those is chosen. Here x-axis indicates the number of epochs and y-axis gives the accuracy. The learning rate 0.001 0.0001 has an accuracy of 80%. We have, we have tried the model with different learning rates and we actually plotted training and validation curves. When learning rate is 1, we see that validation accuracy rises and falls, fluctuating. We got an accuracy of 50% here for learning rate of 1. For 0.01 learning rate, the model accuracy actually decreased. For a learning rate of 0.1, we see that learning rate is decreasing and increasing, that is fluctuating, which says that learning rate is not optimal. For learning rate 0.001, we see that training accuracy and validation accuracy is 90%, as it is increasing and becoming constant at somewhere here some 0.9, and both the graphs actually increase and it doesn't show any fluctuation. So this learning rate is optimal, that is 0.01 for our model. And also the model was trained with different batch size images, that is 32, 64 and 128. This is accuracy for 32 batch size, that is Linet has 87% accuracy and VGG has 95% accuracy. For 64 batches, Linet showed 92.6% accuracy and VGG showed 96.4% accuracy. Both Linet and VGG performed well in 64 batch size. And for 128 batch size, Linet accuracy actually declined to 89% and accuracy of VGG net increased to 87.1%. Results: traffic sign image classification model successfully running at this link. This is our web application link. We have used HTML and CSS as a front end and Flask for back end. Flask is actually an utility for Python programming language, and it was deployed on cloud Heroku. Heroku is a platform as a service that enables developer to build, run and operate applications on cloud, and for free actually. So this is how our web application looks like. We have a choose file button and a submit button. As soon as we click choose file button, we have to upload an traffic sign image. Say we upload this image, and after uploading an image we have to click a submit button to review the result. So for this traffic sign image, the predicted result is speed limit 50 km/h. Let's try for some more images. Let's choose other image. Say this image, child cross, submit, and predicted result is child crossing. Expected outcomes: web application for traffic sign image classification. This is what I just showed you now. And publish a research paper in a scientific journal. cost estimation of the project. The most of the sources we have used are open sources. Google Colab, open source which is free. OpenCV, Flask, Heroku and TensorFlow platforms are also free. The only thing that is costing is hardware, laptop, internet and printing. We have estimated rupees of 20,000. Man hours, 10 hours per week per person. We have been doing this from past 16 weeks, so it is 160 hours per person. So we are a group of 3 members, so total man hours are 480 hours. So total cost, time cost for this project is 480 hours. This is a Gantt chart depicting the series of tasks, the objectives that were carried out for this project starting from week 1 to week 16. Conclusion. In this project, we present a large-scale experiment based on the German traffic sign recognition benchmark dataset containing traffic sign images. We developed, design and implement deep learning models to recognize traffic signs, and we compare the prediction performance of the VGGNet and LINET models. Choosing the best out of these two, VGGNet and LINET model, it was deployed along with a web application onto the internet. Being specific, it was deployed on Heroku platform. These are some references that we have referred. Thank you for watching.